In this video, we're going to go over some of the most important aspects of the IGCSE qualification or curriculum, and we're going to go over aspects that are not covered by mainstream sources so that you're able to get a very comprehensive idea of what exactly this qualification entails. Be sure to watch till the end to see whether I would recommend the IGCSE for every single type of learner. Hi, I'm Menon, and I'm the founder of educator.org, a platform where you can avail of IGCSE resources for absolutely free. I took the IGCSE in May 2014 and I managed to pass with a distinction and A stars in a couple of subjects. So this video will be both from the perspective of a learner and of an educator. In a nutshell, the IGCSE is an upper secondary international qualification for 14 to 16-year-olds. Counterparts worldwide are curriculums like the IB Middle Years program, Hong Kong's HKCEE, America's GED, the UK's GCSEs, and Singapore and the UK's O-level. The IGCSE tends to stand out for its international focus and its constant striving to develop a very well-rounded and culturally aware learner. Subject content of IGCSE subjects tend to be secular, politically neutral, and they tend to mention cultural differences in opinion where relevant. And that is why the IGCSE is often the curriculum of choice for students who want to study in a country that isn't their home country. One, because universities and high schools worldwide tend to recognize and accept the IGCSE qualification, and secondly, because the IGCSE just tends to produce more culturally aware and well-rounded students. The IGCSE is one of the, if not the most popular upper secondary qualifications worldwide. It's in over 140 countries and 5,000 schools all over the world, and that's in large part due to its research-driven approach to education. Nearly every high school and every university in developed nations such as the UK, US, Canada, Australia tends to recognize the IGCSE qualification, and developed nations, high schools and universities in developed nations are increasingly coming to accept IGCSE qualification. If you as a parent or you as a learner are scared that your child or you may not be accepted if you were to take the IGCSE into a high school or into a university, I would suggest, if you're studying in your home country, you take the curriculum, the local curriculum of your home country. Or if you really want to take the IGCSE, you actually email the high school or you email the university that you want to get into and ask them whether they recognize the IGCSE and what the scores are to be accepted into those universities. There are over 70 subjects in the IGCSE that fall into 5 categories. The categories being mathematics, languages, humanities and social sciences, creative and professional, and science. Languages is the largest category with over 30 subjects. It's also important to note that the IGCSE makes allowances for students whose first language is not English. So if you wish to study the IGCSE curriculum and English is not your first language, you can still study the entirety of the curriculum with the language of your choosing. One of the biggest advantages of the IGCSE is the fact that you can choose any subject you'd like. You don't have to choose a particular stream at this point in time. What that means is, if you're studying medicine, for example, you want to become a doctor later on in life, you know for a fact that in IGCSE, you're going to have to take biology and probably mathematics. But you can also take, in addition to biology and mathematics, you can take economics and business and art. You can choose any subjects you want, a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 14, with most students choosing 8. And that's one of the coolest things about the IGCSE. You don't have to sort of streamline yourself at this point in your life or this point in your child's life. The cool feature of the IGCSE is the fact that a lot of the subjects actually move progressively from easy to complex. So if you're a learner who has never done a subject before, such as geography, you can actually take geography for the first time, and if you work diligently over a period of 2 years, you can actually write the exam and ace your exams with just those 2 years without prerequisite knowledge of geography. Additionally, subjects feature core and extended levels, which is sort of like a higher and a lower level. So if you don't feel competent in a particular subject, you can always go down to core instead of extended. And if you feel competent in a particular subject, you can just take extended and write the exams for extended. overall, the IGCSE is pretty academically solid, and it provides you a solid foundation of the academics you can come to expect in high school and university. Subjects in the IGCSE are graded from G to A star, with G being the lowest and A star being the highest you can possibly achieve. This alphabetical scale goes from A star, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Subject scores in the IGCSE are solely evaluated via the end of the year exam. No coursework, no midterms, no examination during the course of the 2 years matters other than the last exam for the IGCSE, and that's how you get your grade. For a lot of learners, especially learners who are athletes, who have medical issues, who take time off during the year, this is very beneficial because they don't have to be present all the time. They don't have to be present to take midterm tests, submit coursework. However, this might be a bit of a curse for students who aren't able to perform under pressure, because you just have that one exam block at the end of the 2 years for about a few weeks where you're writing multiple exams. So if a learner or your child isn't able to perform under pressure, this might not be the best. I would actually recommend students to take the IGCSE for this feature where they're solely evaluated on the end of the year exams, because it actually helps students practice for what is to come in high school and university. Especially in high school and university, there are a lot of standardized tests with regards to the final board exams. If you're doing the SATs, if you're doing the APs, if you're doing your GREs, IELTS, if you're doing a TOEFL, these are all standardized tests that you have to prepare for, where the final evaluation, the final score is based off of one sitting. One more feature that I want to talk about is the price. Schools that offer the IGCSE and resources tailored for the IGCSE, courses for the IGCSE, tend to be a tad more expensive than courses for your local curricula for many reasons. One is because the IGCSE tends to be academically pretty rigorous, and the IGCSE tends to only put its stamp on high quality resources. So there are a lot of research costs that go into producing such resources. Secondly, the median income of families who have kids within the IGCSE curriculum tends to be higher than the norm. And also, there's a lot of social prestige attributed to having a child study in the IGCSE curriculum, which leads to just a higher price on anything affiliated with the IGCSE. I also want to speak a little bit about my experience in the IGCSE. I graduated now 8 years ago in May 2014. And I have absolutely no regrets doing the IGCSE. I've kind of kept in touch with all my friends, and given a chance, if I were to be 14 again, I would probably do the IGCSE again. I've just noticed on average the students that the IGCSE produces tend to think more critically and tend to be slightly more culturally aware than students of other curricula. Additionally, I really like the exams at the end of the IGCSE. That period of 2 years allowed me to actually address a lot of the medical issues I had, which served me well long term. I don't think I would have benefited if I had to submit coursework every single week or write exams every single month. I'd also like to mention that the certificate you get once you pass the IGCSE is really cool because it has the Cambridge logo on it. That wow factor I've not seen with many other upper secondary qualifications. If you want to know more about the latest developments in this field for your child, or if you're a learner and you want the latest developments within the IGCSE or the international school world, consider subscribing, because we produce multiple videos every single week giving you the latest and the most awesome information that you will require on your journey. If you found merit in listening to this video or watching this video, please consider liking. That'll help us greatly. And to help you along your journey, we recommend watching this video so that you get better understanding what IGCSE is straight from the source, which is Cambridge. Thank you, guys.